Alrighty, so as I said yesterday after filming a couple of videos, I said I was going to do a live stream of a franchise mode and kind of go through my thought process around it. And normally, at least for the videos I've been doing, I've been using my laptop and OBS. And while it's a wonderful little thing, and it's not that I don't want to use that, it's for this particular setup. I use my laptop for spreadsheet purposes to keep track of all the players I take, and basically I become a stats nerd, and I sort of need my laptop, and for that, well, I kind of got to use my laptop, and I don't want to be taxing it too much while I'm running other programs. Plus, where I have to sit my laptop is not the most convenient place for me to sit and play. So I've got my laptop right here by the side of me. So if you see me look to the right, yeah, that's where it is, and I'll be tinkering with it as I go through. Excuse me. And basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from scratch with a brand new Seattle Kraken squad. I've already created the Seattle Kraken in game. So these are the rosters, the latest rosters they've released, which I think was May 5th. I think was the last time they dropped rosters pre-playoffs. Um, so just to kind of show you what the jerseys look like, if I can remember where the heck to do that. Creation zone. There we go. Let's create a team and let's just go in and edit the Seattle Kraken here. Let's just edit the teams just so you can see what their jerseys look like and things of that nature. Because you won't see it too much, but to kind of tie into the videos from yesterday and a few days ago about Madden details, you can go in and basically modify all your seats and everything, colors, the scoreboard, pretty much just about everything you see here, at least in a general sense, can be modified. Logos and branding is where I'm going to go, though. You can change your logo. I created the S because if you're familiar with the Seattle Kraken, that's about the closest thing I have to the S logo in the game. I tried to recreate it where I could, and I tried to use the colors of the team as best I could. I'm not a creation genius here, so just to show you the jerseys here, this is their home jerseys. Their away jerseys are the white with the S on it, and then the alternate is the red with the boat logo is what I use for it. Unfortunately, there is no Kraken or Octopus in the create a logo setup. I would really be nice if maybe in the future NHL you could add the ability to tinker and add logos and stuff and put your own custom logos and upload those. That would be kind of cool, but it's good enough. So there's my jerseys, just to kind of give you an idea of what we'll look like on the ice. We even have our own mascot, so I think it's pretty horrendous though. Yeah, I have nothing. They're really mascot wise, there's not a whole lot there, but you can create your own mascot, which I guess is kind of cool. But there's not a ton of options to create it. So there we go. We'll just exit out of this because I didn't change anything. I just want to show you what the jerseys would look like before we get started. We're going to start from scratch. Normally when I play franchise mode, I restart a bunch of times and trying to get a coach I want, because that's one thing I will say about franchise mode in NHL is that you don't start with you don't get the choice of your coaches. You basically get assigned a coach at random. They're created coaches, so it's not a huge deal, but sometimes you get coaches that are less quality to play with at the start than others. But I'm gonna play this. Whatever you see going on is what I'm gonna do and run with, and I'll make the best team available of what kind of coaching staff I get, and we'll just go from there. So we're gonna start with franchise mode right here. We're gonna go ahead and create a new one. All right, so we're going to do, and just to kind of let you see what the options are, since if you're new to NHL in general, you've got Classic, which is basically the 31 teams that are currently in the NHL. As of next NHL game, there will be 32 because the Seattle Kraken are joining the league as of this upcoming season. So this will be the last year you actually see this particular mode as far as Classic goes. And then you have the 32-team expansion draft, which is with the default rosters, the rosters that they launch with. And then there's the custom rosters, which is whatever I currently have up. And so I'm gonna run with the custom rosters. I haven't made any changes to the custom rosters except maybe one guy got a bump in potential, and I can't remember if I saved it or not. It was a slight bump. It was from top 9 to top 6. Yep, we're gonna select team. Also, just if you didn't have a created team already, you could actually create one right now. I'm going to choose not to. I'm going to choose my Seattle team. And also, if you're familiar with old school hockey, the Hartford Whalers should be a recognized symbol there. That is actually a symbol you can pull. You can pull old school logos, and that's one of them you can pull as the Hartford Whalers. So, but I'm going to play as Seattle. My GM's name is going to be the same as my coach's name in Madden because in the hiatus he became an NHL GM. When he stepped away from football, he apparently knew hockey. So Bob Winuvas is his name. We'll continue. And here I'm just going to show you real quick. You can flip through. And as you flip through teams, you can see that this is for like owner mode purposes, what you see up here. But essentially, you've got like budget for players, arena operations for your stadium, promotions. You can run promotions during the year to make more money, marketing, scout salary, scout travel, coach budget. So you get all that stuff is right here. Most of that is affected by owner mode. In fact, all of it except for two things is affected by, or is mostly for owner mode. The only two things you have to worry about in non-owner mode is the scout salary. Well, not even scout salary. Actually, the coach budget is the only thing you have to worry about in non-owner mode. And then you have your owner personality, spending, importance of success, patience, your top players, where you're currently at, because in franchise mode, if you play in owner mode, you can actually petition the owner to move the team, so you can move to a different area, a la Madden with its relocation setup. And then it shows you your AHL affiliate there in the bottom right-hand corner, which the Toronto Maple Leafs is the Toronto Marlies. Ours is the default Burnaby Aces, which I believe... Oh, I know Burnaby's in Canada. I don't know exactly where, though, because I'm horrible at geography, because I'm American. Sorry, I'm just dumb. I don't make any excuses about it, at least. And I created the Seattle Kraken. Now, I created them in the Key Arena because that's the only arena I knew of in Seattle from back in the old Supersonics days. So I basically just kind of built it. The arena really doesn't make a difference except in owner mode, really. And I see that my coaching budget is $10.466 million, which I'm quite happy about. That means we actually have a good coach, which means I have a big budget, which means I can sign up. If I don't like the coach, in a couple of years I can sign a coach that, you know, makes as much, if not less money, and I have a big budget. Because that's the one thing in franchise mode, in non-owner mode, you can't go above that particular coach budget. It will not let you. I found that out the hard way one time, and it sucked. Because I wanted to hire a coach, and he was wanting like $6 million a year, and that was my budget. Like, you can't afford him, and I'm like, what? This is the guy I want. This is the guy I need. What do you mean I can't sign him? So, just a heads up, if you start a franchise mode in NHL 21, your coach budget is locked. You cannot do anything about it in non-owner mode. So I'm going to pick the Seattle Kraken, and it allows you to customize the AHL team, which you do the same way as you would the NHL team. I choose not to because I really don't care. I really don't care about the AHL squad. Now here, this is another thing that NHL does with their franchise mode. Similar, not really similar, but in the same vein as 2K, you can rearrange all these teams into divisions. So you could move... if you wanted the Montreal Canadiens to play in the Metropolitan Division, or if you wanted to, this season because of the pandemic, you had all the Canadian teams were in one division this year. If you wanted to recreate that in this particular game, you could. I'm not going to, but I mean you could do that. I will, however, do one thing that I know is going to be done as part of the expansion for Seattle. Seattle's actually going to be in the Pacific Division, and they're going to swap with the Arizona Coyotes. The Coyotes are going to move into the Central, and the Kraken are going to take over in the Pacific Division. So I will do that to make it true to life, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. But if I wanted to just leave it alone, I could. And here's where you got all your nice little switches. I'm going to turn off owner mode because I really don't care for it. It also adds in GM firing, so you could be fired for poor performance, both on the ice and basically following owner's tasks and stuff of that nature. Let me click this right here. Head coach edit lines. I typically turn that off. Ooh, shush machine. I typically turn that off because I like to kind of manipulate the lines and try and get the best chemistry I can to get the most out of my players, because usually first couple of years I end up with pretty bad teams. So we'll leave Fog of War off. Now, Fog of War, if you've watched some of my other videos, Fog of War still affects draft picks, so I will still have to scout draft picks. What this Fog of War does is basically make me have to scout the pros, the NHL and the AHL. Especially early with an expansion team, I don't like to do that because in the expansion draft, you won't have full knowledge of all your players. And I kind of want to know what I'm drafting when I go to draft it. But if I were playing with a non-expansion team, I'd probably be more okay with it. But with an expansion team and needing to know these players right off the bat, I turn it off. CPU trades on, definitely, because I like it when the CPU actually offers trades based on your trade block and based on their trade block and trying to work something out. Obviously, they're trying to get one over on you, but you can negotiate back and forth. And this is pretty much it. I will go into rules and settings because there are a couple of things I change here. First thing I do is I will go right here, and I usually change to custom. The only thing I think that's customized here is I usually turn autosave off. Difficulty is usually on Pro. I put it on All-Star. It doesn't affect much of anything, really, unless I jump in and watch a true simulation of the CPU versus CPU. If I'm just simulating games, that doesn't really affect much of anything. Draft pick on. Okay, yeah, authentic. Salary cap definitely on. Trade difficulty medium. You can make trades harder or easier depending on how you feel about things. And then waivers. If you have a player that's been in the league a couple of years and you try to send them down to the minors, they do have to go through waivers before they can hit the minors. So you could have a team actually claim a guy that you may want to keep, but trying to get him through to the minors, he could get claimed on waivers. So this just makes you a little more careful about your roster selection and who you keep up in the NHL and who you put down. And when I get to looking at contracts and stuff in a little bit, I can show you where it shows who's on waivers and who isn't. So that way you can know at a glance, okay, this guy will qualify for waivers if I try to send him down. This guy won't. And if a guy passes waivers, when you send him down, you can send him up and down at your leisure. After that first time he passes waivers, you don't have to worry about him with waivers anymore. So this is Fog of War. I will show this real quick. If I wanted it on, I could actually choose what areas are on or off. So in other words, I could basically pick what has the Fog of War element. And the Fog of War element, this is basically, I don't exactly 100% know a guy's overall or a guy's individual attributes, like their speed or their agility. I don't know their player role. I don't know their player type. Doesn't show me their potential, things like that. All that's off, so I will know everything there is to know right out the gate for NHL and AHL players, not for players I'm trying to draft. So, and then right here, I'm going to show this. Auto scouting I usually leave on for both because it is a lot to do. And the way I play, I usually just simulate games. So I leave it on auto scouting, but I usually kind of monitor it a little bit and kind of, if I see targets that I don't need, I'll try and change that up on the fly because you can alter what the CPU does even though the CPU has already planned it out. So you can still interfere with it even if the CPU is auto doing stuff. And usually the CPU is pretty good about stuff. If I were playing games or more in the game-to-game routine, I would probably have this on off because I'd interact more with the scouting at that point. But the way I play, which you'll see once I get going, I typically don't. I just kind of simulate games. I don't actually jump in and play games. Therefore, I can go months at a time, in a sitting and have it go through almost an entire season in a sitting. So that's kind of nice to be able to do that and get to a draft and get to an off season and then just continue building the team out. You have 25 years in in NHL, which is kind of a little short. That's the longest you can go is 25 years. It'd be nice if I was a little longer, but I mean, for EA, I won't complain. I know the 2K series can go 80 years. So, advanced settings, I don't think I change it. Yeah, I do. I change auto rotate goalies. This is one that if you leave, you'd leave on if you were playing, because this essentially means that your number one goaltender will play a predominant amount of games, say about 60 to 70% of them, and your backup goalie will play the other, 25, 30% of them. With auto rotate goalies on, with off, I actually have to manually choose when to put in the number 2 goaltender and give my number 1 goaltender a break. And I turn that off because it allows me to kind of have more micromanaging of the team, and I kind of like to be able to micromanage. Especially if we get on a losing streak, I want to be able to micromanage and bounce in and go, hey, no, you need is goaltender number 1, go sit. Let's put the backup in, that kind of thing. Stuff I like here, draft class quality. If I wanted every draft class to have a bunch of studs in it, I could. Or if I wanted to be, maybe 1 or 2 really good players and then the rest are just trash, I could do that. Generated prospect quality. There are prospects that are created by EA that are in the game, guys that are coming up for real in the NHL draft. This basically affects the quality of those generated prospects. This will kick in more the deeper you get in the franchise, because usually they're created players that are actually real life, potential NHL draftees are usually within the first 2 or 3 drafts, and then after that, it's pretty much all created players. So you can affect and say, hey, I want my generated players to be studs, a bunch of studs versus or a few studs, or just kind of random from year to year. Playoff length, you can change the playoffs if you want to. Like if you're doing it yourself, you can change it to best of 7, best of 5, best of 3, one game elimination, or you can just leave it authentic, which is 7 games throughout. So. But you can change all this stuff. Waiver notifications, morale meetings. Do I want to turn morale meeting? No, I'll leave those on. And retired jerseys. I love this. There are actually retired jerseys. So depending on what team you are, any jersey that's been retired by that team will be redded out, and you can't actually assign that number to players. For every team, including me, the number 99 is retired for Wayne Gretzky, so I can't assign the number 99 to any of my players. It'll be grayed out, and I won't be able to select it for a player. A blockbuster, yeah, trade alerts, that's good. Gameplay sliders. I've talked about this in a separate video, but the only thing I really increase, because I simulate a lot of my games, is I increase the injury occurrence. I bump it from 30 to 35, and that's mainly just to make sure that I'm having to deal with nagging injuries. It does get a little micromanaging aggravating, especially if I hit a run of injuries. But it's kind of realistic in that aspect, so it makes me have to kind of pay attention and call people up and down all that much more. This defaults at 50. I dropped it to 30, and 30 was okay. At 50, you're literally just like every day you have a nagging injury. It's over micromanaging. 30 to 35 for me is like just in that sweet spot where it does get a little aggravating at times, but it's not overly aggravating. And then the rest of these I just leave the same, but just kind of flip through. If you haven't watched my sliders video, I mean, just make you jealous a little bit as far as how many sliders there are for all kinds of different things. Puck control, goalies, checking, penalties, AI. So, yeah. All right. So that's the only thing I really changed there. I can back out here, and we're going to go ahead and start. And, yes, we're going to keep the salary cap on because I'm a big boy. I'm an adult. I know how to do this. All right. So we'll jump in. Get ready here because I'm going to be doing some stuff. All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to advance to the expansion draft mainly to find out where I'm going to be drafting. I should be in the top 3, but this is pre the rule change, so I can fall to as low as I can fall to as low as 6 or go up to 1 potentially. I figure I'd take a moment to welcome you to the Seattle Kraken franchise. Well, thank you, faceless owner guy. You have your plate full of the upcoming expansion draft. I'll touch base again in a few days before the draft itself. After I get into other teams are going to make available. This is one thing I wish I could see is look and see the list of players before I actually jump in. That would be kind of nice because then I could come in with a plan and just go bam, bam, bam and pick my players. But I can live with it. And then every year you get a listing of the salary cap, what the minimum is, because in NHL there's actually a floor you have to meet. If you are below the floor, the game will alter contracts and raise them all on your team to basically bring you to that ceiling. So all those wonderful bargain basement players you signed, if you're below that floor, will basically jump up in salary costs to basically meet that floor. So you got to be careful with the floor here, along with obviously you can't go above the ceiling. Maximum player salary cap, so each player can make no more than $16.3 million. Minimum is $700,000. And the maximum rookie salary cap is $925,000 a year. So that's the most you can pay on a rookie contract per year. All right, so did I move up? Yeah. Oh, Lordy. Oh, jeez. This is one I would reset. Okay, I bumped from 3 to 6. This is why I didn't bother looking at anything before I saw this, so I can get depressed right away. I am picking 6th. I have been bumped from the 3 to the 6th spot. Minnesota made the jump in the lottery from the 9th to the 1st pick. Los Angeles made the jump from 5 to 2. And Carolina jumped from 14 to 3. Oh, my gosh. Detroit got hosed. They bumped from 1 to 4. Ottawa bumped from 2 to 5. And I bumped from 3 to 6. So basically, those 3 teams just shot up. Ouch. Okay. And so that's a lot of activity. Okay. So I'm picking 6. That's pretty much all I care about at this point. I'm picking 6th. So pretty much the decision you make in the expansion draft tomorrow will decide whether the franchise sinks or swims in its first year. Thanks for the pressure. I'll be keeping a close eye on your choices, as will the fans. Well, the fans can, they'll be all right. All right. So now that I have an idea of where I'm going to pick, first things first, let's find out who my coach is. All right, so, okay. So my guy is Gordie Howden. Wow. Gordie Howe? Okay, really? Okay. So this guy's a defenseman specialty. So now it's time for me to do this. Time for me to edit all this stuff. Howden, NHL head coach, and he is... What is he in overall? A-. Okay, so he's a good coach. Good deal. All right. He likes defensemen, so I'm going to change this in the books to defenseman. All right, and I'm paying him $2.937 million a year. Ooh, 2.937 for 2 years, so that didn't change much. And I always find this odd. Whenever a defenseman, you look at his specialty is defenseman, and his offense is A+. Wait, what? How you going to be coaching defense? How are you going to be defense and your offense is an A or A+? Power play, penalty kill, teaching's a B-, and influence is a B. Okay, that's a pretty good coach. I haven't looked at his other stuff yet, but okay, so good offensively, A's across the board just about. So good on power play, solid on penalty kill. All right, so let's see. Okay, let's take a look-see here. What does he have for penalty kill? He has a passive. So let's insert that there. Let me add this. Data validation. Sorry, guys, I'm making a spreadsheet, and this particular area I do not have a whole lot of information, so I'm trying to make some extra. And passive box is another one now. Okay, save. And we'll call it passive box. Boom, done. And we'll expand that out a little bit. And his power play is overload. Okay, so that didn't change from my old forward time allocation. Normal, defense time allocation, normal. So this guy runs all 4 lines and all 3 defensive pairs. Conservative on offense. Passive on 3-on-3 offense, I should say. Forecheck is 1-2-2 passive. Oh, he's a trap guy. Okay. Defensive pressure, protect the net, collapsing, neutral zone, 1-3-1 trap, overload. Forecheck, I like that. Okay. Power play, carry, dump. He's a forecheck guy. I dig that. Okay. Dig that. All right. So, here's the important stuff. This is the important stuff. Got to know this stuff because then I look at my draft picks. So forward line 1 is overload, balanced, cycle, balanced, and block. Okay, so he likes his. Oh, he likes. Everybody likes blocking. Okay, so this guy's a blocking machine. All right. Okay, that's interesting. So he might not like snipers. That might not be good for me. All right. Balance, shoot, energy, block, and then forward line 3 is crash the net, dump, balanced, energy, block, and then forward line 4 is behind the net, dump, cycle, balanced, and block. And then, ooh, interesting. Okay. He's got some hold the line. Okay. I don't think I've ever had a coach that's a hold the line coach, at least not the NHL. All right. So we definitely do not like offensive defensemen. Okay. That's not a great thing for me, but okay. Okay, we'll make it work. Different. All right. So there we go. Defensive coaching team will help get the most out of your defense. It will bias towards a more defensive team and its line strategy set. Tend to play more defensive players on the third and fourth forward lines and rely more on their defensive players when defending the lead. Okay. All right, this guy is Whitman. May spare the names for right now. Let me just clear all these out real quick. I think the main ones I want to look at are the NHL and AHL coaches. So let me do that. Let me look. Well, let me see. Hemingway, what is your teaching attribute? Oh, great. A crappy NHL goalie coach. Lovely. His teaching attribute is garbage. Dude, you're terrible. Really? Man, you're horrible. Okay. So I deal with him for a couple of years. Hulse is actually a better goaltending coach because he's got a better teaching attribute. This guy's got A+. What's he got A+ in? Power play. Ooh, okay. This guy's just horrible. Why do we have him hired? All right. Gogol. Let me get Gogol in here because this is going to be important because this is going to determine how well we match up as far as coaches go. The first good thing is that he is a defensive-minded head coach. I like that. All right. I like that because that means there's a chance of him matching up with my head coach, and that's a good thing for us because if he matches up, then whoever we send to the AHL, whatever lines they play on in the AHL, they'll match up perfectly in the NHL. So if they match up 100%, a guy on my first line in the AHL, when I bring him up, is going to fit just fine in my first line on the NHL. That's what I'm hoping for. That means I can create kind of like a scouting system, or not a scouting system, but basically a growth system, hopefully. So let's tinker with him a little bit. He is B- on offense. He's B- on defense. He's C- on power play. That's a good thing we got that guy who's an A+ on the power play. He's A on the penalty kill. That's good. B- in teaching. That's solid. And A- in coach influence. I can live with that. That's not bad. All right. All right. So you are also a passive box. Your power play, however, is an umbrella. Okay, umbrella. That's different. Haven't had that before. Data validation, list of items, umbrella, and overload. And save. And you'll be umbrella. And I'll tell you what, let's just copy that here. So now I know that. And forecheck is your conservative, passive, 1-2 passive, protect net class. So, okay, that's good. This is all pretty much the exact same as my head coach in the NHL. That's a good thing. That's a positive thing. So hopefully, oh, wrong button. All right. Okay. So he's overload, balance, cycle, energy, and block. So on my first line for my NHL head coach and my AHL head coach, the only thing they don't match on is the efficiency energy area. This guy's energy, my head coach is balance. That's not terrible. That's really, really close. And let me get the defensive pairing, so that's a lot easier to flip everything over. And that's another good thing. That the defensive line pairings for all three. Oh no, yeah, that's right. Hold on, cycle, hold on. Yeah. So defensive pairings wise, these guys match up 100%. So that means anybody I put in the AHL, wherever they fit best at in the AHL, they're going to fit in the same place in the NHL. That's good. Okay, so second line is behind the net, balance shoot, balance block. Another one that's darn close. The only difference is the energy. The head coach in the NHL wants energy, and the AHL coach wants balance for energy and efficiency. So it really looks like the energy and efficiency is where we differ the most. Balanced block. Yeah, same thing again. Energy efficiency. Coach wants energy on the third line, and my AHL coach wants balance. That's actually really, really close. So I'm okay with that too. And the last line is behind the net. So the offensive strategies match 100%. That's good. The carry dump. Oh, I forgot to change one. Okay. Yeah, the carry dump across the board match. That's really good. Okay, this guy. Okay, so we have a farm system here. That's really good. Okay, balanced. Okay, and then you want energy. Yeah, they only differ in the energy efficiency, and it's only one step off. So it's not a complete like antithesis. Like I like this and I like this. I like the complete opposite. So that's good. How's my summer going? It's going well. I've been more at school in the couple weeks I've been off than I have been like during the entire spring. Like literally, I feel like I've been up there just a ridiculous amount comparatively speaking. But it has been nice so far. I mean, I'm still off, so I can't complain too much. But all right, so we got our AHL head coach. He's okay. I can actually make this work. This is kind of nice. Okay. All right. So I'm not gonna worry about listing the other coaches on my little spreadsheet here for now, because I want to kind of get into the draft side of life. So let me go over here and let's clear out all this. Why is that blank? That's weird. Okay. Forwards, defense, and goalies. I don't want to clear all that. I just want to clear this. And then I'm going to clear this. I'm clearing out my spreadsheet, by the way. Not that y'all guys need to care about all that good stuff. Okay, yeah, I want to keep that down there. So that's why that's down there. Okay, gotcha. And we'll clear this because that's from my other franchise I was playing. So, boop, clear that. Get rid of that. All right, so here we go. All right, back to this. So you went to the dark side and got an Android. Well, that's not the dark side. That's the light side. You went to the right place. So good job. You finally saw sense. I like that. So beginning the expansion draft. Okay, so in this part, what we're doing now is we are going to be picking a player from each and every team minus one. There's one team that is exempt. And that team is the Vegas Golden Knights. So the Vegas Golden Knights do not have to put out anybody because they were just an expansion team a couple of years ago. So they are exempt from having to go through this process as someone who has to turn over talent. The explanation is that because the money spent by the Seattle franchise, the franchise fee they had to pay, was split amongst the 30 teams, and Vegas didn't get a dime of it. So therefore, Vegas doesn't have to give up a player because they didn't get any money out of the deal. So that kind of makes sense to me in a way. But what I can do here is I can go through each and every team, and I do not have to pick an order, although the game will try and make me pick an order. I do not have to pick an order. I can pick from whatever team and what area I want. So I have a list of, these are a list of the players that are basically unprotected by the team. So in other words, these are players I have access to picking. These are all skaters. I can organize it by forwards, which is your offensive base players. And there will be some crap players in here, so just, sometimes you just get what you get. But I get my choice of any of these players, and I basically take on their contract and their salary as part of my salary cap. You'll see in the bottom left corner, I currently have a cap hit of 0. My cap is $81 million. My objective here, just to kind of give you a thought process as to what I'm thinking, my objective here is to get players, a few players. I've got 30 picks. Honestly, I'm hoping in this draft, expansion draft, maybe having about 6 to 10 players that are basically my core out of 30. And I know you're probably like, why not all 30? Well, to be fair, some teams have some crap players. I mean, legit crap players. So I'm going to be looking on teams where I don't have a player that I really like their contract on, or, just don't like any of their players, period. I'll be looking for a guy that is hopefully trade bait. Legitimately, I need to basically have a bunch of trade bait so I can deal back to teams and get draft picks or get other resources or guys that I really like more. So, for example, let's go ahead and pop in at Cam Fowler. Cam Fowler is a really good player in the NHL. He is currently unprotected by the Anaheim Ducks. You can see his stats here. The thing I'm interested in the most is usually when I look at players, the first thing I look at is if I'm planning on keeping them, durability. Because durability, if it's not above an 80, generally speaking, I'm probably not going to have that player in the lineup a ton. It's like 80 is kind of like the threshold. If it's close and they're really good, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But like if there's a guy with like 70 or 65 durability, I stay away from them like the play, because in simulation they're just going to be out like every week. It'll feel like it'll be ridiculous. And you might get lucky and you might stay healthy the whole season, but I don't like relying on luck because I usually have crap luck. So this is what I want to look at the most, though, the Pro Scout assessment. Essentially, I want to see. Whoop! I started something else. I did not want to do that on my computer. Hold on a sec. There we go. All right. Okay. So what I want to do here is I'm looking to see my Pro Scout assessments. And most of these will be fairly accurate. These are areas where even with Fog of War off, these are areas I still need my scouts to scout. So you'll see that the binoculars are there with the 4 bars. That means this is a 100% accurate assessment of this player. And if you look, fits in the following lines in our coach's scheme. None. Okay, so basically their best player, the player that I would probably take because he'd be a linchpin anywhere else, sucks on this team. Okay, so let's bump down a bit. Let's look at Josh Manson, who is also an 84 overall. He's a defensive defenseman. He'll probably fit. Top 4 defensive pairings. So this is a guy I can potentially take. However, now I got to think about some other things. For example, number 1, he's 28 years old. Number 2, he's got 2 years left on his deal. By the way, these 2 years are kind of a phantom 2 years. You have to take off a year because this is basically the end of the season, so his contract has not dropped down a year yet. So basically, if I draft this player, like if I drafted Cam Fowler, I'd only have to pay that $6.5 million for 5 seasons, not 6. He's going to drop a year here shortly. So I basically would have Josh Manson for a year at 4.1. He would then hit contract, and I would have to sign him. Do I want to deal with that? Especially in an 84 overall when he's probably going to want to command this kind of money. It depends on what else I'm drafting, but I'm an expansion team. I kind of want to look at youth. So let's take a look at Jacob Larson here. Does he fit? No, not at all. Brandon Gooley, does he fit? He may. It's a guess because it says defensive pairing 3 and all penalty killing lines. Well, that's 25% accurate. That could be a complete bogus. Am I willing? No, this is okay. This is just defensemen. Okay, well, let's look at forwards real quick. All right. Or let's look at all skaters. All right. Adam Henrique. Okay, first line forward and all penalty killing lines. Okay, that's not terrible. He's 30 years old. That would probably be not a bad setup. 4-line-1. He wants to be a second line forward, but he'd be a first line forward for me. And he would kill penalties. So now I'm starting to look at other things like, okay, he's got a pretty solid shot. He's got good discipline. He's still got good speed, but he's 30. He's getting close to the point where he's going to start dropping off. That would be a really good player, honestly. For at least the first 3 years of the franchise, that would be a really good player. Because by 33, he'll start to taper off, and he's pretty much at max right now. So now I have to make a decision. Now, first, let's one quick thing. Let's look at the goalie situation. Okay, no and no. I don't want those goalies. Those goalies are horrible. Okay. I should also specify that per the rules of the expansion draft, if you look at the bottom, it says that I have left wings 0-5, center 0-5, right wing 0-5, defense 0 of 9, and goalie 0 of 3. Okay, realistically, the only ones you really have to worry about as far as positional base is defense. I have to take 9 defensemen. That is the minimum amount of defensemen I can take. I have to take 3 goalies. At some point, I have to take 3 goalies from the team. I could take more, but I have to take at least 3. Forwards-wise, and that's left wing, center, and right wing, I need a total of 14 minimum forwards. I do not have to make that 5 left wing, 5 center, 5 right wing restriction. That's not a restriction. But I do have to have a total of 14 forwards on my team at the end of it. It will not let me exit out otherwise. So, do I want to take Adam Henrique is the question. I really like the penalty kill aspect because I'm thinking about it from a franchise standpoint. I need a veteran guy. But my other thought is if I get Cam Fowler, trade bait. So do I take trade bait or do I take the guy who's going to play for me? And because I know from lots of previous drafting experience that there's not a lot of forwards that are worth taking, I'm going to go ahead and snatch up Adam Henrique. I'm going to take Henrique here for my forward core here. And he is a center with no secondary position. Okay. Boop. Okay. And it's Adam Henrique. I'm typing it into my spreadsheet, by the way. 82 overall, 30 years old. He's a second line forward. Potential top 6. He is what type is he? A two-way forward? Okay, two-way forward. And his assessment is L1 PK. Okay. There we go. All right, so cool. We're taking Adam Henrique, first pick. Yay. All right, Arizona, the Coyotes. Let's see what they got. Okay. Don't like him, don't like him, don't like him. Whew, I don't like any of these. All right. Pitlick. 4th line forward. What are you going to tell me? First line? Top 6 forwards. No. Not drafting a top 9 potential. 28-year-old, 79 overall to play top 6 minutes. That's not going to happen. I don't care how desperate I get. I'm not doing that. All right, so is there any prospects down here maybe? Oh, what about this guy? John Hayden. 4th line forward. Power forward. That's why I like him. That's a little high. Line 2, yeah. I mean, that's the same. The only difference in this argument is maybe he jumps up to a top 6 before the age of 27, which is where his potential will cap off. I like the power forward center combo because there's not a lot of those as far as draftable. But playing second line time as a 76 overall, if I'm going to poo-poo the 79 overall guy, I'm definitely going to poo-poo the 76 overall guy playing top 6. Anybody else down here? Prospect, Capo Bianco, top 4, 22 years old, so I could draft a prospect. Maybe fits in defensive pairing. I don't like that. Maybe. Okay, here's another top. This is a low top 4, so he might not make top 4 potential. He's a 72 overall, 23 years old. Another maybe. Okay. Top 9. I'm not taking it. What? Okay, goalies. Now let's look at goalies. Ooh, Antti Ranta. He's 85 overall. I would have to sign him, though. That's the thing. Because if you look, that contract goes from a 1 to a 0. So that means that I would have to re-sign him in the offseason. But walking in knowing that is not terrible. Or I could take the prospect goalie who's a backup. And he might be a restricted free agent, which means that I would have right of first refusal. And I wouldn't have to worry about, paying him a lot of money. I think I'm going to do that. Okay. Aiden Hill. Overall, 81 overall. He's 24 years old. He is a backup goalie. Ooh. Potential is starter medium. And he is a hybrid goalie. All right. I'm not going to worry about salaries on this. I'm just going to worry about getting the player listed. Okay, but I'm going to take Aiden Hill from the Arizona Coyotes. This is one of my 3 goalies. Boston. All right, who you got, Boston? Taylor Hall. Of course. Of course you have Taylor Hall. Durability 70. Does he fit? No, that makes my choice really easy. Krejci's 30. I don't want a 34-year-old. Kasha. Andre Kasha. He's a sniper. He's not going to fit. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to hate this team. Going to have no scoring capabilities whatsoever. What is he? PK? Forward line 2 and PK for an 81 overall. What about Carlo? I would have to re-sign Carlo, though. Top 4 defensive pairings. He's 23. He's still young. Ooh, that's a good. Oh, that's a tough shout out right there. That's probably a good pick. What else we got down here? We got any prospects I may want to take? Forsbacker Carlson? No. Zinchin? None. All right. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go Carlo. Let's look at his attributes here. He doesn't have great accuracy, but he's got a hell of a shot. He's decent discipline, okay passer. I mean, he's a defensive defenseman, so I want him for defense. I'd have to re-sign him, so I'd have to kind of make sure I have some cap space. I can do that. Yeah, we'll do Carlo. All right, Brandon Carlo. Welcome to the Seattle Kraken. 81 overall, 23 years old. His role is a top 6, so he fits in the top 4 defensive pairings, but... And type is, what is he, defensive defenseman? Yeah, defensive defenseman. And he is top 4. Okay, cool. All right, so, boom, welcome. Oh, no. Oh, I'm going to hate this team. Buffalo, if you're not familiar with it, is the worst team in the NHL. They are horrible. Who do you got, Buffalo? This is probably going to be a trade bait scenario where I just take somebody for trade bait. Unless Jurgensen wants third line time. If Jurgensen wants third line time, I may take him because that's a good contract price for a third line guy. I'm not doing it. I don't care top 9 high or not, dude. I'm not doing it. So that trade bait potential, I mean, look at it. Kyle Okposo, bottom 6 potential, $6 million anchor of a contract. That's what that is. And he didn't even fit my scheme, so why would I even take him? Cody Eakin, another guy that's forward line 1 for a 77 overall, bottom 6 potential. Yeah, that's brilliant GMing right there. Let's see. All right, let's look here real quick. All right. Okay, so nothing here for skaters. Do we have any goalies? God, even your goalies are garbage. My goodness gracious. Okay, forwards. So I'm taking Jurgensen for trade bait. That's gonna be it. Jurgensen's for trade bait. He can place. I mean, maybe in a. I don't see a scenario where I keep him because he's just. He's not good. I mean, he's just not good enough to play where I'd need him to play. 26. He is a third? Was it third check? Third check. Third C. His top 9 H. And he is also a two-way forward. Okay, this is going to be a two-way forward heavy lineup. Ugh. I like having scorers, man. Okay. The only thing that entices me is the PK, but for forward line 2, I mean, I'd rather not have him on the PK unless I have to. But I'm taking him, so trade bait probably there for Jurgensen's. Calgary. Come on, Calgary. Have me something. Giordano, 36. He's also top 4, so he's probably going to drop to top 6. He didn't fit, so no. Backlund, he's probably going to fit. I can't do forward line 1. I already have somebody for forward line 1. Tanev, 74 durability. Oh, son of a. Well, now that just. Oh, he's getting paid $4.5 million for 3 years. What about? Come on, can I find a sniper? Oh, this coach is gonna drive me nuts. No offensive defenseman. No two. It's just gonna be nothing but stone walls out there for defensemen. They're gonna be nothing but defensive defensemen. Oh, that's gonna be horrible. That's just gonna be horrible. This team is gonna be nothing but pylons. All right, let's see. Derek Ryan's too old and needs a contract. Josh Lievo, no. Richie, no, he didn't fit anyway. Man, all the good players that I'd want don't fit. Gee, Willigers, who's a fit? Do you fit? No. I would take you as a prospect, but you don't fit. Dad, burn it. What about goalie? Oh, you don't even have the sense to have a good Well, I could take him, Parsons. He's starter potential. He's still young. But I took Aiden Hill. He's 20. Aiden Hill's 24. This kid's 22. Backlund, 31 on a 3-year deal. I don't know if I could trade that contract. Tanev, 30. Tanev, I could. That 74 durability just scares the doo-doo out of me, though. Ugh. But being able to play power play and penalty kill in top 4 minutes, that's nice. Oh, that's a tough decision. Oh, I'm going to do it, aren't I? Because I'm probably not going to find... Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts my soul to take somebody with 74 durability. I didn't even look what Carlo's hand was, but yeah, I got to look at that. So right-handed... And you can play right defense. Good deal. And then it's Christopher Tanev. And he is an 83 overall. He is 30 years old. He is a top 4. Top 4D with top 4 potential. So that's good. He made his potential. Defensive defenseman. Oh boy, and he's got a bunch of assessment roles. He's got top 4, PP, and PK. All right. Yep, that's unusual for me. Let's look at my current picks here real quick. Which is another thing I dig. You can go back and look at any time. You can look at the picks you've made. And you can organize them and kind of take a look. And also, you're not locked into these players. So, like, if I change my mind on Tanev or any of these players later, I can go in and change it. As long as I don't hit the finish draft option before I exit out, I can change any of these selections. So I'm not locked in. Once I pick this guy, it's not like that's it. I can't change my mind. So, Carolina, who you got? Oh, Dougie Hamilton. He's not going to fit, is he? He fits. Oh, my gosh. Defensive pairing 1. No power play, no PK. Jake Gardner, nothing. Brady Shea, nothing. Jesper Fast, nothing. Oh, my gosh. Cedric Paquette. But I want PK. I want guys that can play PK at the bottom end. Penalty kill. I want penalty kill guys. All right, goalies. A starter in Mrazek, but I would have to sign him. Reimer's a backup. Bebo is a backup. I'm okay with not getting Bebo. And the problem with Hamilton is that I'm going to have to sign him. And the other problem is that he's right-handed. And I already have a bunch of guys to play top 4 right-handed. So I'm going to skip that. So what I'm thinking here is the same thing I did in Buffalo, although it hurts my soul because this kid is a really good player. But I'm thinking I take Brady Shea. Yeah, I take Brady Shea and basically just trade him. God, I hate doing that because that's a good kid. Or do I take Gardner and trade him? Brady Shea's probably got more trade value because younger, same talent. Yeah, I'm going to take Brady Shea for trade bait at this point. Golly, trade bait for that kid, man. I would love to use him, but he doesn't fit my coach's scheme at all. Top 4 medium. Oh, no. Top 4? Yeah, top 4. Top 4 medium. He is a two-way defender. None. Doesn't fit anything. Stupid. All right. So, yeah, we're taking him. Trade bait. Drafts, trade bait. All right. Shaw's their top player. 79 durability. Forward line 3, but no. Nothing else. I mean, that'd be all right, I guess. Ooh, really? Really? Basically, barely squeezed in on the first defensive line. Calvin DeHaan, offensive defenseman. But I'd only have him for a year. He'd be 30. Okay, Connor Murphy doesn't fit. Gaudette. No. Maybe if he was top 6 potential, maybe. Maybe. Anybody else down here worth a crap that I could take? I'm not taking that. Edsel. No. Goalies? Ooh, okay, well. DeHaan is a temporary fix. He's a left-handed shot. That would solve my first defensive pairing because it'd be either, at this point, it would be DeHaan and either Tanev or Carlo. Probably Carlo because Carlo is healthier. 81 durability is okay. The offensive defenseman, just as a heads up, if you pair an offensive defenseman with a defensive defenseman, typically they get high chemistry together. So that's why I'm kind of looking at this from that standpoint of, even though it's only 1 year, having 1 year of a guy that might be like a +3, bumped to an 84 with, say, Tanev, who's an 83, bump him to an 86. That puts me, my top two defensive pairing, or my top defensive pairing would be an 84 and an 86, which for a first year is not terrible. I mean, it ain't great, but it's not terrible. Usually I have far worse than that. Because that's really the best player, as far as what I need. Okay, you do this, and he's a left or right defenseman. That's good. Calvin DeHaan, 81 overall, 29 years old. And he is top 4 and top 4. So easy enough. He is an offensive defenseman. And, change that. Wrong one. There we go. L1. There we go. All right. So Calvin DeHaan, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. Colorado. Come on, Colorado. You got to have me something, right? Devin Taves. Defensive pairing 3 and penalty kill line 2. That's pretty darn specific. But yeah, I mean, it gives me a guy to play on that third defensive pairing. That's pretty quality. 83 overall. He's listed as a top 4. He'd be playing top 6, but he'd be playing penalty kill also. Brendan Saad. That's a guy I'd have to sign, and he's probably going to want bank. Soderberg's 34. Confer is a guy I usually look at, but I'm not playing him on the second line with top 9 potential. Nikushkin. I knew he wasn't going to fit. I don't know why I looked. I knew he was a sniper. All right, let's see what else we got here. Nope. Nope. I guess it's going to be Devin Taves. I am going defenseman heavy on this one. Oop, there we go. Left defenseman. Devin Taves. He's an 83 overall at 26 years old. Top 4 is where he wants to be. Top 4 medium is his potential. He is a two-way defender, I believe. Yeah. And he fits line 3 and PK Dose. He's left-handed, and so is Dahan. All right. Devin Taves, welcome to the Seattle Kraken. Columbus. That's a terrible contract. Why would I take that? Like, seriously, why would I take that? Because he's a sniper that fits my first line profile. You. Whew. Okay. So. Oh, and I'm okay. Do you fit? Forward line 1. I'm not putting you on forward line 1. Kukan. What do you do? PK lines. That's it. Okay. You got to fit a scheme, but you got to be able to play. You're not going to play penalty kill from the bench as a scratch player. Do you guys have a goalie? Oh, no. I do not want to take Cam Atkinson. And just to explain my reasoning, the reason I do not want to take Cam Atkinson is he's 31 years old. He's got a 5-year contract. So for 4 years, I'm going to have him on a contract for near $6 million per. About the age of 32 to 33, depending on how well he plays, which I'm not anticipating us being a great team those first couple of years, he's going to start to regress. And he's top 6 now, which means that 83 is pretty well his ceiling. If he drops to top 9 in like the first year or two, I'm screwed on that contract. That contract is going to be a boat anchor. And there's no team that's going to take that contract on unless I give them like a stupid amount of picks, which I wouldn't do. But he fits my first line profile, which is unusual for the sniper class, which is what he is. He's not a super great shooter. He's more of a passer. He's more of a playmaking sniper. His durability is 88. He would be on the line with Adam Henrique. Be a veteran line. Well, at least at this point, it's a veteran line. You know what? I'm going to go against my better nature. Normally, I wouldn't take a guy like Cam Atkinson. It'd be too much of a risk. But you know what? I'm going to take Cam Atkinson. Mainly because I need a guy that can shoot. And I feel like this guy can shoot. He's listed as a second liner. Top 6. He is a sniper. And he is line 1 only. All right, so I'll probably still stash him on the power play, but yeah, that's oof. I'm not looking forward to that contract. That's all I got to say, man. Wait, I got 35 million in cap on 9 players. Holy crap! Oh yeah, we're definitely trading some of you fools. I still have to get. Oh my gosh, I only have. Oh boy, we got to do some bargain basement hunting now. What Radic facts? Oh no, get the H out of here. What the heck? All right, let's look. Dallas. Okay, Dallas. Doesn't fit. Golly, you don't even have somebody I can take to trade. My goodness. Man. All right, this team is straight garbage. Oh, wait, what? What? Hold on. Hold on, this kid right here. Okay. Jason Dickinson, center. He's an 80 overall with top 6 potential. So that's good for me. And he fits my second line. Young at 24. I would have to re-sign him, but he'd be... So that might not hurt me all that bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to take Jason Dickinson. All right, let me see. Jason. I'm just going to put names and just their profile. I can skip the rest for right now. Kind of streamline this process a little bit to get a little quicker going. All right, so Jason Dickinson. Oh, God, Detroit. Another terrible team. Who you got? Bobby Ryan. Stetcher. Doesn't fit. Panic. Doesn't fit. Ponic doesn't fit, I should say. I'm not putting a 79 overall top 9 potential playmaker on the first line. The Kaiser, $5 million. 65. Yeah, no. 65 durability. Are you kidding me? Get the heck out of here. What's wrong with you? I'm already in a pinch as far as money right now. I need to free up some cash. What? Juice? Offensive defenseman? Really? He's top 6 though, so he's not going to get very high overall. He might get in the low 80s. Or at 80 overall. This might be his cap is 78. Oh, man. But he fits that first defensive pair, and he's still fairly young. Okay, what about this guy? Giovanni Smith, top 9. If you're a third-line guy, I'm going to take you. Oh, it's not accurate, though, but I sort of got to go with... I got to take my scout's advice, even if he's stupid as... I mean, because this... He's top 9, 22 years old. He's 77 overall. He's already NHL ready. So I can plug him in. Yeah, I got to take that. That's a good take. That's a good take. Giovanni Smith. And you are line 3, PP. Because the grinder class doesn't really get a whole lot of bonuses on the power play. So I may not put him there. But I may have to because I don't have a whole lot of power play options. All right, that's good though. Okay, cool. And you got 70 in faceoffs. You could actually freaking center a line on a 3-way or a 3-man on a 3-man penalty kill. That might be okay. Okay, I got to resign him, but 77 overall. That won't be much money. Edmonton. Tyson Berry. If he were signed to even a 2-year deal, I would take him in a heartbeat because I would trade him. I'd be trade bait central. Adam Larson. Wow, really? Doesn't fit. Ethan Bear. Oh, lovely. Defensive pairing 1. A guy I would love to take. 82 overall. Man. That's actually not a bad. That's not a bad shout out. James the Real Deal Neal. 4-line 4, but not for 5.75. Sorry. Need some discounts here. Zach Cassian, 3.2. Chason, Ennis, Shore, Jujar Kyra, 4-line 2 for a bottom 6. What is wrong with you people? 4-line 2, maybe in the AHL. I do like Jujar Kyra though. I just like the name. And I mean, he's 6'4", 212 pounds. What's not to like about that? Just beat the hell out of somebody. Kine, Archibald. Oh, that's a good shot. Let's look at goalies. Oh, no. I don't want Mike Smith or Koskinen. Who have I taken at goalie? Oh, just Aiden Hill so far? Okay. I got to take Bear. I have to take him. I literally have to take him. Ethan Bear. Okay, and he fits line 1, I think. Yeah, pairing 1. And he's a right-handed shot. Oh, man, okay. May have to change my Calvin DeHaan selection and maybe my Tanev selection. Save me some money. Or we'll figure something out. But, okay, Florida. Let's get moving. Brady Montour. PK lines. Good job. Declare. What? He fits the first line? Oh. Okay. That's an interesting one. Nudavara. Doesn't fit. Nola Chardy, Frank Vetrano. What's Vetrano? Two-way forward? No, not line one. Go to hell. Get the hell out of here. Juleson, top four, penalty kill line 2. 75 durability. No! Alexi Sorella, forward line 3. 23 years old, top 6 low. 77 overall. That might could happen. As a prospect guy, maybe somebody that's on the cusp. But Duclair, Duclair is 24 years old and fast as hell. Can play left wing or right wing, which I like. I like versatility, whereas Cam Atkinson does not give me versatility. I would have to sign him, though, which could cost me a pretty penny. All right. Time to go make a thought process here. Cam Atkinson. What about this guy? Eric Robinson. Forward line 2 and PK lines. Okay, so now I have to make a decision here. This is a guy who would probably not do well on the second line. Do I take him and give up that big contract and give up those years? That's the main thing. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because the years was what kills me with this Atkinson deal. Like I can't go 4 years and have this guy plummet off the face of the planet and just become a boat anchor contract like right out the gate. I need to have some flexibility. So I think I'm gonna actually swap this pick. Good thing I can do that. I'm gonna take Eric Robinson, and I'm gonna erase Cam Atkinson off my board. And what is Eric Robinson? He is line 2 and PK. That's actually good. Gives me another penalty killer. So that's not a terrible thing, and it's a guy who I have for another year at a cheap contract, and that lets me go to Florida, and I'm gonna take Anthony Duclair. I'm gonna take Anthony Duclair. Yeah, that's gonna be. I'll work to re-sign him. Oh, wrong button. Line 1. All right, just so I have a marker of what lines they might be able to play on. Because I like to kind of have that as a starting point. Because until I get to the regular season where I can actually make my first batch of lines, I won't know exactly where these guys play. I'll just have basically that assessment is the only guide I have as to where these guys will play when they get on the squad. So I'm jotting those notes down at the very least, so that way I can have at least a general idea as I go through of where I've already kind of, quote, picked some players at. So I'm going to take Duclair, even though I got to re-sign him. Ethan Bear's a double up right now because he's a first-line offensive defenseman, and I have Calvin DeHaan, who's also there. But Calvin DeHaan's a lefty, and I have a bunch of righties. So now I'm getting into decision time. Let's look at Tanev again. Let's see. Okay, so here's the thought. I might could trade Tanev. Maybe. But 30 years old, 3 years left, that's not bad for a defenseman. Or I could grab Benjiapane as trade bait. Well, top 9 potential is not going to be much trade bait. Tanev might be trade bait. That's a tough one. I think what I'll do is I'm going to keep it as is. I'm not going to change that. But if a deal comes along that I could make for Tanev, I would move him. I'd be willing to move him. So that's the thing with this expansion draft. There's only a few players that I'm kind of starting to kind of lock in on that I'd like to keep around long term. Duclair is one of them because he's a really good, fast sniper player that fits my scheme, which is a rarity. The sniper class with this sniper's an offensive based player, And this coach is defensive. So to find a sniper that actually would work on even a line for this guy is a godsend. So that's why I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's a guy I would like to try and keep. Bear is another one. I like the offensive defenseman that can fit the first line. This Giovanni Smith, I like for like the bottom six. That's going to be a good guy for the bottom six, and he fits perfectly in that role. Dickinson's a guy I would probably dig to basically anchor that second line eventually because he's young, and him and Robinson will play together. Devin Taves is a guy I can move on from. I wouldn't hurt. Brady Shea is trade bait. Tanev's trade bait potentially. Carlo's maybe a guy I keep. Henrique is a guy I'm probably going to basically the first 3 years is going to be my rock as far as just kind of holding the team together since he basically can do a little bit of everything. But let's go to the Kings. All right, so this guy's got a contract for 4. So basically I'd have him for 4 years at $4 million per. Can he play? He's forward line 2. 70 face-offs, left wing center. He doesn't really fit though because I've got. What about Brendan Lemieux? No, just no, just no. Sean Walker. I almost said Scott Walker. No. Okay. Wagner, Ferk. Brickley. Okay, so nothing. No. 82 overall goalie making $5.8 million for another 2 years. No. You're a backup, so I'd have to put you in the AHL to get anything out of you. No, that's a dumb pick. That's not a good pick. I need to pick. Okay, so this is going to be a. The thing is, I don't know if I could trade Iafallo at $4 million for 4 years. As my cat tears up a box behind me, and I don't want to play him on that second line because I have Robinson playing left wing at this point. Robinson playing left. Wait. Hold on. What's his role right now? What's Robinson's role right now? Is it fourth line? AHL, baby. I can put you in the AHL. Okay. That'll work. I can put you in the AHL for a year and take Iafallo. And if I could trade Iafallo, then that's great. You could just come up right away. And if you can't, then you'll just stay in the AHL for a minute. Yeah, okay. I'll do that. So Alex Iafallo is going to be my next pick. Alex Iafallo is, and he is line dose. And I could maybe put him on PK as well because I think he's got some decent defensive attributes too. So, yeah, that's a horrible contract. Nope. Generally speaking, when I do contracts, I try to have them run out by the time a player turns about 33, 34 at the latest. Because at that point they're starting to decline, and I want to have them come off the books by then, so I can either get them at a cheaper rate, or I can just let them go to another team and weigh their contract situation down. Foligno, not gonna fit. He's a power forward. Yeah, just not gonna fit. Playmaker, no. Bugstad, power forward. I'm not putting 80 overall on the first line. I don't care if he's a power forward. I like power forwards, but not for that. Good lordy, Wash, what the hell? McCoshin? Ooh, prospect. We're going to take a prospect here. Left defenseman, which means he's a lefty shot. And that is Ian McCoshin. And he is maybe top 4 and PK. That's the hope. Yep, that's good. That's going to be our guy. All right, we need to start looking at goaltenders because we are running out of players. And do you fit? Okay, good, because I would have had to consider you if you fit. Ooh, do you fit, sir? Philippe Danault. What about Josh Anderson? Does he fit? He fits forward line too. Wash, you have lost your mind, son. Josh Anderson. Forward line 2. Who's on forward line 2 right now? That's Dickinson and Robinson or Iafallo and maybe Anderson. So two-way forwards and a power forward. But $5.5 million for 7 years. That puts you to 33, and you're an 81 overall. And you're pretty much tapped out on potential, so you're not going to grow much beyond an 81. Or do I take the 83 overall, who I know is a stud, in Philippe Danault, a guy who I have to re-sign in the offseason? But a guy who takes a spot from somebody else. But, I mean, this guy, he has no weakness. Like, he literally has no weakness, and he's ready to go. I'd have to pay him big money, though. He'd probably want about he's probably going to want about 6, maybe 7 mil a year, if not more. Ugh. That's a tough call. Yeah, I got to take Josh Anderson. I don't like the contract, but the money is not terrible for a second line guy. The years I don't like. The overall I'm not a huge fan of. If he can ball out on that second line, though, he can maybe grow in overall a little bit. I gave up the Cam Atkinson deal. I'll take Josh Anderson. That's not as bad a deal as Cam Atkinson. It's still not a tradable contract. I know that from previous experience. So I'm not gonna be able to trade this guy. But if he can perform on that second line with at this point Iafallo and Dickinson, or with Dickinson and Robinson, depending on, so it could be a Sun line. Ooh, the Sun line. I like that. Marketing. We'll take Josh Anderson, though. And he is a right winger, and that is it. And you are a... What are you? You're a left winger, primary, center, secondary. Boop. Center, secondary. Forgot to tell everybody this is left wing, right wing. I've got to kind of get on this. Give me a sec. Get all this done. Catch up on some of these. Okay, yeah. Because you were just a left winger, right? Is that right? I tell you what, let me go to view current picks. Be quicker that way. Declare as a left wing, right wing, and Giovanni Smith is just a left winger. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. Nashville, I still need 2 goalies. Oh, I'm running out of time. I need to get that goalie. Holla. Kind of hoping for a playmaker to fit that first line, because Enrique as a centerman, 2-way forward, and then a sniper on either side. And then if I could put a playmaker up there, that would be nice. But I'm starting to run out of spots to fill. Oh, power play though. 26. He's top 9 though. Yeah, no, not line 1. You almost got me, buddy. You almost got me, Colton Sissons. You almost got me. I almost took you. All right, is this the team I'm taking a goalie from? Ooh, goalies. You're a backup. Dang it. I really wanted you to be a starter. 78 overall. You're a minor starting goalie. 23 years old. Oh, yeah, I'm taking Connor Ingram. That's a no-brainer. That's a minor league. That's an AHL starting goalie right there. And as soon as he grows up and becomes a real boy, he'll be really nice. And he is minor starter. I'm going to go ahead and put in the information for him because his is not going to be hard to put in. Goalie, I don't get as much information on. I don't really care all that much about, what kind of things they can do. Oh, I know. I love it whenever you're available from the Devils, but I have a feeling you're not going to fit here. And the reason I like him is because I know he's a power forward. And power forwards are real nice in this game. Oh, I'm a happy boy. Oh, I'm a happy boy. You can play left wing, too. You can only play line 1, though. All right, let's look real quick. I mean, I have to re-sign you. Yeah, Pavel Zacha, 81 durability, decent shot, decent passer, former top 10 pick. Yeah, Zaka's going to be the guy here. Zaka's going to be the guy. Center and left winger. So that means he can play that left wing with Adam Henrique, and Anthony Duclair can play right wing. Boom, I got a power forward, two-way forward, and a sniper on my first line. That might not be a bad setup. It's not going to be perfect, but it will be nice. All right, what was you're just line one. You're just a line one. Just a line one guy. You may still get some power play time, Zaka, but yeah, join the Seattle Kraken. Islanders. Ooh, Beauvillier's available. I like Beauvillier. I do like Beauvillier. Del Call, Hosang. Hosang may fit forward line too. He needs to be in the AHL. So that would be somebody I would take for the AHL squad. But if I could grow him, can he play center though? Because he's listed as a center, but that don't mean he can play center. What's his face-off rate? 65. My goodness gracious, no. You list as center, but you're just there as a body. You got to be able to actually play center. Come on now. All right, so let's look back at the top Islander guys. Beauvillier. Okay, Beauvillier I'd have to resign. He'd be an RFA. He's a top 6 low. He's already an 82 overall. He already wants to be on the second line, and he has more versatility as far as my coach schemes than any other left winger guy I've seen for the second line at this point. Right? Yeah, even better than Iafallo. Well, I'd be overloaded. I need to dump a guy then if I go that route. Oh boy. But I really do like Beauvillier. Beauvillier I think would be perfect. Good speed, good shot, good passing. He's well rounded. He's a two-way forward. Two-way forwards are typically well rounded. So yeah, I gotta take Beauvillier here. I gotta take Anthony Beauvillier here. Now the question is do I think I can trade Iafallo or Eric Robinson? Because this guy's younger than Eric Robinson. Eric Robinson could just play AHL. So the question is, do I think I can trade Iafallo? Because he's better than Iafallo is right now. Or is there anybody else on this team I could take to try as trade bait, or just to play in the AHL maybe even? I mean, not that I should be looking for guys that are AHL players, because I need players in the NHL, but 70 overall, 25 years old, no thanks. What's it? He's just not good. Was he drafted? Oh, he wasn't drafted. Okay, just. Oh, Christian Wolanin. What about this guy? Oh, he didn't fit. Never mind. Luff. None. McDermott. McDermott. Guy who lists as a minor top 2 defenseman. This would be one of those takes that you're not taking it for the prospect, or he's not a prospect at this point. He's 26. He's going to basically pop out at 7th defenseman, but really that's what he would be. And if he manages to be a top 4 defensive pairing, all penalty kill backup guy, so if I lose anybody in my top 4, I can plug this guy in and boom, I'm okay for a little while. I'm still losing out overall wise, and this is a guy I can plug in the AHL right now. In the worst case scenario, he could be a guy I call up in an emergency situation. That's not really the way I should be thinking. But I feel like, yeah, I think I'm gonna make that call. I'm gonna take Iafallo off our board. And and I'm going to add a guy that really, honestly, I probably shouldn't in Curtis McDermott. But I'm thinking there's no real guy on here that I can trade, I feel like. So without having trade bait, without having a guy that I really want to try and make something out of or can make something out of based on, where they fit in the coach's scheme, I'm going to take a guy that basically could be a depth piece, essentially. That's not the wisest thing to do in the expansion draft, but I mean, the LA Kings don't have a whole lot of options that I really can work with. And none of those other guys that are available that I could trade would be tradable. Rangers. Tony, oh man, another first line defense. But he's making 4.8. I wouldn't want that. Okay. All right, so this is another guy I usually look at a lot. He's 20 years old. He's an 81 overall. He's got top 6 potential. He's a center left winger. He's a two-way forward. What's he fit? Shoot. Line 1. I can't do it. I can't in all good, because if I took him and got rid of Adam Henrique, our first pick, I would lose out on some power play experience, some penalty kill experience, and I can't in good conscience do that to this team starting out. Would it be a smart pick? Yeah, it would be a smart pick. That's not a bad idea. And I can't just put him in the AHL because, I mean, he's good enough to be in the NHL. He would be an asset in the NHL, but where he would fit, I tell you what, let's look at something real quick. Let's look at our coach. Okay, so yeah, he's an overload probably guy. Yeah, so I don't think I, in good conscience, could put him anywhere else. I mean, I would love to. Third line would be awesome for him. I don't have a whole lot of bottom end guys, and if I took him thinking I could plug him in there, maybe he could plug in, and then I could move him up when Henrique moves on. But he still doesn't fit power play, penalty kill, so that's still a worry. This Gauthier guy, Julian Gauthier. 85 durability, and he fits forward line 1. Who have I taken to do that for now? Oh, I took Zaka. Yeah, no, you're gonna be an AHL guy if I take you. What about goalies? I don't need another backup goalie. I need a starting goalie, and there's not gonna be many of those left. D'Angelo for trade bait? I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Because I'd have to sign him, which would be smart, and just try and force him in. Because he's going to get slightly better as a top 6 guy. He's not a great body checker though. Third line, I'd like a little more meat on the third liner. And he's got some speed, 6'2" and 90 speed. My goodness, that's nice. Trade bait or take a shot. I feel like taking a shot might not be a bad option, especially a guy that has some versatility. So, excuse me, I'm going to do that. Center left winger, Philippe Scheitel. He is line 1 only, and I will have to re-sign him, but that's okay. Ottawa, Connor Brown, forward line 2. I know he can shoot. That's one thing I do know. How many shots does he take? 173. So he doesn't take a ton of shots. He just makes them. Ugh. Let's see. Anybody down here? You got any goalies? Woo! 82 overall, 6.25 million. My God. Why would I take that? That would be just dumb. I mean, you'd have to bounce back a little bit, man. 82 overall, you're considered a backup goalie. But I'm starting to also run out of guys that options at goalie. Let's start looking at goalies here. Let's try and see if I can find a team that has a goalie. You're listed as a backup goalie. I shouldn't start you. Why would I? No. Gillies, no. McElhaney. Do we have any? Oh. Oh, Jesus. I'd have to sign him, and he'd want like $8 million per year, so no. I mean, that would be awesome, but he's also 30. Doesn't really fit this team. Braden Holtby's a starting goalie for at least a year. Do you have anybody here that I could live without, or that I couldn't live without? Yeah, you got a bunch of garbage here. Vertanen is top 9. Yeah, that's garbage. Yeah, okay. I'll take Braden Holtby then. I'll take Braden Holtby. Maybe Braden Holtby can regain his 2018 form and guide us to the Stanley Cup in year 1. And then maybe I'm dreaming. Starter. And is he hybrid? I can't remember. Yeah, he's hybrid. I should have known that, but I'll take hybrid. Boom. All right, so bounce me back to Ottawa. Do I have another tradable asset? I mean, Connor Brown's not really a tradable asset, I don't feel like. I like to get something for Connor Brown. I mean, my second line is pretty stacked at this point. I like the versatility with the left wing, right wing combination. Ooh, top 6 forward lines. So this guy could bounce around the lineup a little bit. I already have the top 6 pretty well locked in, though. And I'd have to re-sign him. So no. What about Nick Paul? Forward line 2. AHL, potentially a guy I could call up. But would you call him up for the second forward line? What's his face off? 70? Could play left wing. Austin Watson. Ooh. Okay. How much? 1.5? Grinder? Yes. Okay. All right. I can get behind that. I need to find some dirt in that back end. I need some dirt. Give me some of that grinder. Austin Watson. And that is bottom 6 PK. May not be as good on the PK, but a guy at 1.5 mil for 2 years, play basically 4th line or 3rd line. Well, it'd be 4th line because I have a grinder on the 3rd line. I don't want too many grinders on one line because grinders typically take more penalties. So I don't want 2 grinders on the same line because they'll be in the box all the time. And I don't want them much higher than line 3 unless they're just stupid good. Really? Really? You're going to make me look at this, aren't you? Okay, thank Jesus. Because I'd have been worried if I'd have come up line 1. I'd have been like, oh, man, I got to change a whole bunch of stuff. Gostisbehere, offensive defenseman. Defensive pairing 1. Okay. This is interesting. Because I could use a guy this guy would replace Calvin DeHaan we took way earlier. who was in the last year of his deal and was older and not as good. Yeah, I'm going to take Shane Gottspear. I'm going to take Shane Gottspear. That's almost a no-brainer, except for spelling his name. Line one, top defensive pairing, however you want to put it. Yeah, we're going to take Gottspear, Ghost Bear, and we're going to come all the way back to Calvin DeHaan. He's a grinder, though. Golly, I don't want a grinder. Now it's going to be finding a player on this team that I could take that would be a sensible take. Top line, what was his call out for line two? No, he'd have to play a little bit more than that. Carpenter, nope. I need some. Okay. What about goalies? Oh God, goalies are horrible. Nope. Okay. Do any trade bait? Oh, DeHaan becomes trade bait because he's on 2-year deal. Never mind. Okay, I can trade DeHaan. Okay, I'll just trade DeHaan. That's the simple answer. DeHaan can go now, or whoever has the higher trade value can go because. Oh man, I usually take. Oh, he could actually fit this team though. I usually when I've done fantasy, not fantasy, but franchise drafts in the past, I usually take this guy and just trade him because usually that's an easy trade. So, but oh man, okay. Does he fits forward line 2? I can still do trade bait with him though. I mean, because he does get a pretty decent net. $5 million for 6 years, dude. What? And you don't fit? Yeah, that's a whole lot of no thanks. Brandon Tanev. Power play? Really? How much? 3.5 for a fourth line forward that can play power play and penalty kill. 2-way forward. I don't have a whole lot of bottom 6 options here. So sadly, I'm actually debating that. Jankowski, depth forward, 25 years old. Who's he got? Who do I have Jason Dickinson. No. He's a better player. Lafferty. Who's this guy? Nobody worth a darn. Okay. Rodriguez, playmaker, doesn't fit. There's nothing here. Oh. I guess Zucker would be the take just to go ahead and get the trade bait out of the way. Oh man. What about Carter? I know he's old. He's 35. He fits forward line 1. Yeah, that's not happening, so never mind. Dumoulin. Oh, okay. I don't have a lot of left-handed top 4 defensemen, do I? I don't. I have a third line pairing. I have a bunch of first line pairings. But yeah, I don't have a right or left-handed top 4. So I think I'm going to take Brian Dumoulin. He's listed as a top 6. He's got top 4 potential, so he might bounce up a little bit. Good defender and PK. Yeah. We're going to take Brian Dumoulin. And he is, exit out. Top 4 and PK. Boom. Boom. Still need, I don't need a goalie. That's right. Okay. Mark-Edward Vlasic. I mean, $7 million till 39 is not going to be good business for this team long term. I don't care what his top defensive pairings are. Okay, he doesn't fit. Ferraro for trade bait, though. Ferraro for trade bait wouldn't be a bad deal. Okay, let's see. Geez, you have a ton of players. My gosh. Top 6 low. Forward line 3. 22. Low top 6, which means you probably won't get the top 9. You're also 65 overall right now. So you're not great. Are you injury prone? 85 durability? That's not bad. What the heck? I'm feeling game. Let's take him. Center only? Okay. Center only. Jonathan Dahlin. And he is line 3 maybe, but I'm just going to put him as line 3. I have to make the assumption that that's an accurate assessment. So yeah, we'll take Jonathan Dahlin. Who's St. Louis got? Justin Falk. Doesn't fit. Sammy Blay. Doesn't fit. Marco Scandella. Top 4. I don't need that. He's 30 as well. Zach Sanford. Top 6. Potential 25 years old. Power forward. Ooh. 4-9-2. Left wing, yeah, I can't do that because I got left wing locked on the other side with Beauvillier. Jaden Schwartz, I'm sorry, not Justin Schwartz. Mike Hoffman, Mike Hasselhoffman. Power forward. Oh, another power forward. Line 4. Can you play center? How much am I? Ooh. That's not terrible. That's not terrible. I'd probably put him on the PK or on power play or something. Give him some extra ice time. You know, Kyle Clifford, that dude looks like he has seen way too much of the wrong side of a punch. He's a grinder. That doesn't top 6 forward line. Are you kidding me? Get out of here with that crap, man. Come on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Oscar Sundqvist here. He's a center right winger. Center's his primary position. All right, nice. Okay. Oscar Sundqvist, and he is line 4, L4. Okay. Boom. All right, Tampa Bay. I think after I get done with this draft, I'm gonna stop here, and then it'll probably be a little bit of time before I can stream again. It'll probably be next week, early next week, before I get started again. So there might be a gap between this big long live stream, episode 1, and then episode 2. But when I finish up here, I'll kind of do a little quick snapshot of the team. Maybe take a look at the draft picks real quick before we head out, so I can see what we're going to be taking at the 6th overall pick. And then when we come back next time, I will start with the draft. So, but let me finish this up first because this is kind of important. Oh, he's 84 overall and 22 years old. He's already better than Dickinson is. No, that means I want to keep you. I usually try and trade you. I usually get good return for you. But I want to keep you because you're good. Oh my gosh. You're really good. I mean, there's the fighting skills the only thing, but I don't care about fighting on the second line. Your passings are 85. Your puck skills are 85 or higher. Your shooting's 86 or higher. Your offensive awareness is 88. Your speed is 88. You got nothing barely below 82, 81. You got nothing below 81 except for discipline. Oh. Well, Oh man, yeah. You know what? Anthony Cirelli. Was it line two? Was that you? Was that you? Line two? Okay. Oh, Dallas. Let's go revisit Dallas real quick. There was nothing on Dallas though. That was like the best of a bad lot. Do you take Radek Faxa and hope you can trade him? Because he's not playing line one for me. That's no. Sakar, no. Oh man, that's the best of a bad lot. Like I mean, I already have top four guys. I already have plenty of guys for the top defensive pairing. I need somebody for the bottom defensive pairings, but I don't see anybody that really fits that. Oh, wait a minute. Just as I say that, who else did I have? Did I pick for defenseman here? Let's see. McCoshen, McDermott. Ooh, that's actually perfect. So we're going to change it up. We're going to take off Jason Dickinson. Sorry, Jason. I hate to do that, bud, but Sorelli is worth keeping, so I'm going to keep him, and I'm going to take right defenseman Steven Johns. What a boring name, but that's okay. All and PK. Okay, all PK. That's perfect. So I can slide him up and down the lineup as I need to based on injuries. That's perfect. That is a perfect guy to grab. Okay, so we only got 3 teams left. Yeah, Toronto's the first team. Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman. Oh, Zach Hyman. What about TJ Brody? No. Okay, no fit. Justin Hall, top 4 in PK. I got plenty of top 4 guys. I don't need that. Pierre Engvall, top 6 forward lines. He's young. I got plenty of youth though. That's the thing. But having a guy top, okay, Dennis Malgin, playmaker. Can I get lucky? No. Bogosian, Nash, Hutton, Neeson, Nick Patan. I know he's a playmaker. No, doesn't fit. Golly, I wish I had a coach that didn't hate playmakers and snipers. Zach Hyman though, top 6 forward lines and power play. But I'd have to sign him. And where would he play? So let's look. Let me look at my list here. Where would he play? So right now I've got Henrique at center on the first line. I've got Anthony Duclair playing a wing on the first line. I got Pavel Zacha, a power forward, playing a wing on the first line. And then on the second line, I've got Anthony Beauvillier playing left wing. I've got I just picked up Anthony Cirelli to play center. Who do I have right wing in that line? Oh, Josh Anderson. I don't like Josh Anderson's contract, but this guy's also 28 years old. I do like you. I like you, Hyman, but I can't take you. What about Wayne Simmons? Forward line 2, 31. I think I'm gonna take Engvall. The reason I'm gonna take Engvall is he's a depth forward, which means I can kind of plug him in at the AHL level, and he can play where he wants to play, which is, I believe, was line 2. Was that right? No, top 6. Okay, so that's not a bad trade-off. Top 6 forward line, so he can play anywhere in the top 6. He's got a decent face-off rating at 75, and he can grow in the AHL at 24 years old. He's scheduled. He's signed for another year. Yeah, we're gonna do Pierre Engvall. That's a good pick. That's actually a really good pick, a depth pick. I like that. Washington. What you got for me, Washington? I got Sprong. Sprong can actually play. He's depth forward. Well, I tell you what, I know what I can do with this. I can. Well, let me see what else you got first. Carl Hagelin. Nah, I don't want Carl Hagelin. Garnet Hathaway. What kind of? Oh, a grinder. Bottom six in power play. If I hadn't taken Giovanni Smith, I'd take you because I wouldn't mind having a grinder. I don't. I have a grinder for the third and fourth line. I don't want more than one. So let's see. What are you? What? All forward lines and all power play. Can you? Holy crap! 86 face-off rating. You're making 700,000 a year. Hey Nick Dowd, what's up? How you doing, bud? I know you're 30. I know you're old. Sorry, but holy crap! All and was it power play or penalty kill? Power play. I gotta take this guy. Like I literally have to take this guy. I mean, for a third and fourth, it says all forward lines, but I'm basically thinking third and fourth line. That's pretty much. But I could put him in either spot, and he can play center or right wing, and he can take faceoffs like a champ. Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. That's a no-brainer. Cop. Forward line 2 and PK. I got Chiarelli, even though Chiarelli's not technically a PK guy. Dylan DeMello. Don't want Dylan DeMello. Sammy Niku. Wow, he actually a two-way defender that fits a pairing. I'm shocked. Harkins, Thompson, Ben, Dano. What about Dano? What can he do? Forward line 1. Who's this guy? Skylar McKenzie, playmaker. Hey, he fits a line, maybe. He fits a line. He's top 9. You know what? No, let me look at goalies. Nah, nope. Okay. There's really not a ton here. And Oh! I hate when you do this game. I hate when I get down to the very end and there's like a guy that fits a whole crap ton of stuff. And it's like, well, who do I kick off? Because where does he fit? Top 4? Okay. So my left-handed shots at top 4 are DeHaan and Gothsphere is a line 1 guy. Who is oh, wait a minute. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Will he actually fit? Because Brady Shea's a trade bait. He's left-handed. Calvin DeHaan's going to be traded because I got saying Gothsphere. Devin Tays is a line 3 guy. Ian McCoshen's a prospect. Curtis McDermott is basically a swing guy. Oh, what was Brian Dumoulin? Was he left-handed? He was left-handed, wasn't he? Shoot. I say that. Not really, because I'll take 5, 8, 13. I got 15 forwards. This will be 12 defensemen. He's 28 also. Never mind. Because what can Dumoulin do? Dumoulin can do top 4 PK. This guy can do all 3. I want the versatility. I'll even go look to see if there's anybody other than Dumoulin that I could take from Pittsburgh to get Forbert's, even though I have to sign him, to get the ability to go top 4, power play and PK. Yeah, that's worth it to me. That is worth it to me. Steven Johns was a righty. Yeah, I knew that. Okay. Forgot to put the handedness of defense because I like to have on each defensive pairing. I like to have a left-handed and a right-handed defenseman. Left-handed for the left side, right-handed for the right side. It's more of an aesthetic appeal to me. It fulfills my OCD requirements. So Dumoulin. Ooh, do I go Zucker here? Zucker for the trade bait? Yeah, Zucker for trade bait because I know I can trade him for something good. So we're going to take Dumoulin off our board, even though he's a guy that could help out. Delete the row. Okay. And we're going to come here and we're going to add left wing, right wing, Jason Zucker. And I don't really care where he fits, but I'll log it anyway, just in case on the off chance I decide to keep him. Doubtful, but just in case. Okay, boom, Jason Zucker. All right, so let's take a look-see at our picks. Let's kind of get an idea. We'll just go point by point here. The centers. Even though Shirelli is our better overall center, he will be playing on the second line with some guys. Henrique's going to be our top line centerman based on his ability set as far as matching the coach. Zaka, I believe, is going to be on that first line with him. Yeah, with Adam Henrique. Philippe Cheidel, who I had honestly forgotten about up to this point, is going to hopefully plug in on the third line or fourth line. I'm hoping the third line, because then Sundquist, I believe, was forward line 4, so that's a guy down there for that. Jurgensen becomes trade bait. That's an easy one. He's gone. Nick Dowd is a guy now who I can swing around that bottom 6 however I need to, because he fits all forward lines and all power play. So this is definitely a nice little Swiss Army knife I could plug in. Is his overall great? No. But having a guy who can play anywhere and be okay as far as compatibility with all my coach's stuff, that's awesome. Darlene's a prospect centerman, so we're not worried about him right now. He's a couple years out. Left wings, Jason Zucker, probably going to be traded at the draft. Anthony DeClaire, hopefully going to be re-signed for the next couple of years. Beauvillier, another guy I'm looking to re-sign. Eric Robinson's probably going to be in the AHL at this point. It's looking like his spot. Maybe even may even trade him if I can find a trade partner. Pierre Engvall's definitely going to be in the AHL. And Giovanni Smith's probably going to be playing third line NHL minutes for us as a grinder. Right wingers, we don't have a ton. Josh Anderson's going to be our second line power forward right winger. And then Austin Watson is a guy I believe was a bottom 6 guy, so we could plug him in on any wing spot on the third or fourth line. And he also had some power penalty kill capability, so that's great for us going down the stretch. We got a ton of trade bait here. Chris Tanev, I'm hoping to trade at the draft. Brady Shea, I know I can move at the draft. Devin Taves is a guy who's actually going to stick around even though he's making 4.1. We're going to try and keep him on that third defensive pairing. I may actually move him depending on what I can get for him whenever we get to the point where we're in the draft and trying to find trades. I can kind of show that off a little bit and show what we can do as far as how we find trades. Shane Gostisbehere is a dark horse that came in at the end. He's going to be one of our first-line defensive pairings. Ethan Bear, unfortunately, is probably going to end up getting traded, even though I really like his age and the fact that he actually fits the offensive scheme of the coach. And he's an offensive defenseman. I'm going to have to move him because Gostisbehere is here longer, and I want to get some value for the guy before he leaves town. Brendan Carlo is a guy I'll have to re-sign. He's a guy that will play, I believe, the second defensive pairing. Calvin DeHaan's a guy that is moving out of town just because we found Shane Gostisbehere. Derek Forbert is a guy who's probably going to play that second line defensive pairing and replaced Brian Dumoulin, who we swapped out for Jason Zucker. Steven John's the guy who can go up and down the lineup, but he's going to start on that third defensive pairing. It's nice to have a Swiss Army knife guy like that can move around all up and down the defensive pairings, and that's a guy that's going to start for us. McDermott's going to be a guy who's going to be in the AHL, probably will be our 8th defenseman. Long term, he'll probably be a guy we'll call up and down throughout the career to basically, if we have a bout of injuries on defense, he'll be a guy we can call up and down, and he can be kind of an anchor point for our AHL squad. Ian McCoshen's a prospect we hope to grow over the next couple of years. He's 24. He's got about 2 or 3 years of growth. Hopefully we can get that going in the AHL and get him up to the NHL maybe in the sooner rather than later. That top 4 high is really nice to see. For a 24-year-old. He's a little bit low on the overall, but that's still solid. And then our goalie situation coming out of this draft is going to be Braden Holtby's going to be our starter for the next year. Aiden Hill's a guy we're going to re-sign. We'll have to re-sign in the offseason, but he's going to be our backup to Braden Holtby, and hopefully we'll grow that first year enough to maybe take over. My worry is, though, if you remember from way back at the beginning when we looked at our coaches, our NHL goalie coach is kind of hot garbage. So that may be something I actually look at once we hit the free agency point. I may actually fire that goalie coach and try and hire a new goalie coach for the NHL. That would be better. This guy, Connor Ingram, is going to be our starter in the AHL. We'll need a backup for the AHL, but we can pick that up in free agency. No worries. That's not going to be a too expensive of a deal, but that's somebody at 78 overall at 23 years old. May actually surpass Hill to take over the starting role sooner rather than later. So that'd be a nice little competition between Aiden Hill and Connor Ingram to see who eventually takes the reins from Braden Holtby, because Braden Holtby's not going to be a long-term answer here unless he just goes crazy next year with his save percentage and things like that. But that's going to be our draft. So I'm going to go ahead and hit finish to finish the draft. We'll have about 10 million in space, but that will change drastically after the draft once I move some of those contracts that I picked up that I knew would be good trade bait. So you can see here, this is our list of players, what team we took them from. So you can kind of glance through there and see what we did. We'll advance on. And now we actually have locker room chemistry, because we actually have a locker room to have chemistry. I'm not going to do the draft interviews. In fact, actually, I'm going to skip the draft interviews. I will say they added this in to try and kind of sweeten the pot as far as franchise mode. But of everything that NHL, I feel, does pretty well in franchise mode, that draft interviews is not one of them. It's pretty bad. I tell you what, I'll leave it up just to show you what it's like for next time, but it's pretty bad. It's not good. So let's go look at the draft class real quick, and then we'll end this video. It's been a long video, I know, but this is this live stream event. It's kind of like you got to go through the process a little bit. And I wanted to kind of show you what I was thinking as I was doing it, so that way you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. We have the 6th pick in the draft, and of course, the top 5 players are elite, and the 6th player is a top 6 sniper, which is probably not going to fit. But the nice thing about this is, and while between tapings of episodes, listen to me, I sound like an old man. Between recording live streams for episodes, I'm going to look at some of these things like this line strategy stuff for some of these players that are going to be in this top 10, but I want to show you just kind of the list of guys. So we have Nikolai Moroza, who's a sniper. We have Kim Christensen, who is a two-way defenseman, maybe, probably so. Two-way forward, probably so, at Rainer Rankel from the DEL. From Russia. And as you can see, we have a couple of potential, maybe some elites here, but we're not sure. We're sure on this guy being a top 6. So it'd be a matter of whether or not he fits the schemes of our coach going forward as to whether or not we'd want to take him with that 6th overall pick. And how ready he is for the NHL. You know, this guy's 3 years away, so it's going to be a couple of years before he actually gets into the NHL. So those are all things I'll do behind the scenes. I'll do a little draft scouting, and I'll show a little bit of what I did in the next video, but I just want you to kind of get an idea of the list of players here. But that's it for this video. I know it's been a long one. When we come back, I'll start with the draft interviews and show you how garbage of a process it is. It really is pretty bad, but I'll go through it just to show you what it is. And then we're going to do the draft, and that's when I'll do a lot of wheeling and dealing to get rid of some of these contracts. We'll look at some players and prospects and draft some players. And then we'll probably do contracts and free agency in that next video as well, just to kind of trying to build us toward that first season, and then we'll get started with the simulation. But appreciate you watching the video. If you have any comments or questions or anything, please feel free to leave them below. I'll take a look-see at them, and if there's anything I need to clarify in the next video, I'll be glad to. Like I said, I hope to get one out maybe next week, starting Monday or Tuesday. It depends on what I've got going on as far as work and other things. I'm off during the summer mostly, but there's some stuff, behind-the-scenes stuff I'm working on for work during the summer, so I may not be able to hop on early next week, but I'll try and get on as early as I can next week and work the draft and the contracts and free agency. So if you enjoyed this, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.